Hey guys, how you doing? I hope you're having a great Memorial Day weekend. I did a video at this location previously, and I showed to where you could actually update your home point to the controller. And I know it's helped a lot of people, but there is, I think, a bug with this because, and I hope DJI fixes this with a firmware update or something, because, and I'll show you here in a minute, but when you actually update your home point, it's not a live update. So say I walk across a parking lot, which we'll do in a minute, and I update my home point to that location. Well, what if I'm on a hike and I keep on walking and the drone needs to return home? It's going to go to the last location where it actually I set it to. So just because I set it to the controller, that does not mean it's going to go to the controller when it needs to if I kept on walking. So again, I hope DJI actually does do an update to where it's a live update. So it actually follows the controller to the location where it's at and comes home at that location. We'll see. The other thing I want to go over, and I'm at the same location for that reason, when I take off here, it's going to ask me to do a few things on my actually RC2 controller. And I just want to show you guys that to where you want to have some way of having a hotspot on your phone or something, because you're going to run into the situation. You know, I was surprised here. I have a hotspot on my phone, so it's not really an issue. But again, it's good to know how to, of course, create your hotspot using your phone, and then use on the RC2 controller, connect that to your phone so you can move forward and start your flight or download maps or stuff like that if you're in a location where you need to look at the map. The last thing I want to talk about is mapping the buttons on the back side of the controller. And I'll show you what I did, and it actually helps. It helps a lot when you're flying at night and stuff like that. Also, when you're just flying, you don't want to hold the stick up. I have one of mine set to the cruise setting and have the other one set to the light on the bottom of the drone. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my phone to get authorization to where we're at. This is gonna be something really, really simple. We're not gonna go that high, I don't care. All right, so next. And as we see there, I actually have approval. And it should come up here in a minute. Right there, approval. I believe that's me. Yep, that's me right there. So I actually do have approval, and I can go ahead and stop the recording real quick. I'll go ahead and start my recording of the screen so we can see everything. I got the recording of the screen, so I'm going to turn the wonderful DJI Mini 4 Pro on. I don't have a name for mine. I know We Are the Roberts has all kinds of names. I think his is called Dwight. I don't know the other kids' names that he named his, but I just call her or she when she's in the air, and that's all that really matters to me. So let's go and get her powered up. All right. I usually always hand launch. Here are I have bypass on, normal. Let me see my return to home. I want it pretty low here. One second, I feel like I'm return home. We'll do 65 feet. I don't need that high here. I'm not going that far at all. That's fine. You want to pull down from the top, and we'll go ahead and hit settings, that little gear symbol. We'll go network, Wi-Fi not connected. We're going to select it, wait for it to connect to me. Let me back her up a little bit. There she is right there. It's connecting right now. And we see what's connected here. Yes, that's me, John. Just go ahead and go back. So now let's go ahead and land her so we get that message again. Hold on one second. Here we go. Okay, so you see I have that message that came up. That message will come up once you actually take off with the drone. We'll go and check this. And again, I have to have networker on the RC2 controller, if that thing will click, to actually confirm this. And what's weird is if I land and take off again, I have to actually do that again. So for now, I'm just gonna leave the RC2 controller connected to my phone. I don't want to, but anyway. So let's go ahead and talk about the updating the home point. The update the home point, like I talked earlier, is not a live update. So I'm gonna go ahead and walk out there. It updated right now when I took off, and we're gonna update the home point, but I'm gonna go somewhere else, and you'll see when it goes to actually go home, it doesn't go with the controller if the controller moved. Let's go ahead and test that. I'm gonna go and turn her around. Okay, so another thing is I love the DJI Mic 2, has a great range on it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and just update the home point right here. I'm going to hit the 3 dots. Well, let me go up here a little bit, out of the way. I'm going to hit the 3 dots, update home point, go ahead and select the controller. It turns yellow, and I hit OK. But again, if I hit return or home, it would come to this location. But say, if I took another hike, another 2 miles this way, well, guess what? I better update my controller. I better update my home point, because if not, it's gonna go back to this location here. Let's go ahead and bring it so we can test this and show you. So I'm right here. So we're going to put her out a little farther from me, and just hit the return to home. And it will not, you'll see, it will not come to me where I'm at. It'd be great if they do a live update. So let's go ahead and hit return to home. Turn to home. So you see it's coming home. It's going up to the 63 feet, I believe. And it's gonna come down. It's not coming to me. I wish it was, but it was not. I'm right here, the drone went there. Right now it's not a big issue. I'm going to cancel that. It's not a big issue if you know what's going on. It becomes a really big issue if you kind of freak out and like, wait a minute, why is it not coming to me? So anytime you actually update the home point currently, until they fix this issue, because I totally think it's a bug, but until they fix this issue, or maybe an enhancement request, I don't know. I would consider a bug in my line of work, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and get it out of there. It's kind of hard to see with the sun. So that's something to keep in mind if you have the drone following you around, because the Active Track works great. You can see my other videos about that, but just remember that, because if not, your drone will take off to the original home point or the last time you updated the home point. So hopefully this clears it up a little bit. It's not a live update. So let's see, the next thing I want to talk about is mapping the buttons. And I'm not going to land her real quick because I don't have to do that authorization again. What I found, let's go ahead and talk about mapping the buttons on the RC2 controller. You have 2 buttons here. So if we'll go ahead and hit the buttons in the top right hand corner, go and hit controller, we have button customization. I have the C1 right here set to auxiliary light, and that is great for flying at night, and I'll show you that here in a little bit. And we have the other one is cruise control. Cruise control is great. So basically, if you're going out, let me go ahead and move that around. It is exactly what it is. So any kind of motion, anything you set on your controller when you're going, it actually keeps it. So we'll go ahead and just get the gimbal up a little bit. We're going to get that out a little bit. And I have cruise control right there. You can see cruise control is set. Now what I did find, if I updated the speed, right now I'm going, well, we can't really see that, 1.3, but if I updated that, let me go up a little faster. Hit again, cruise speed's been updated. And that is something new. I don't know if any of y'all know that. I gotta stop it so I don't go in the traffic. You just hit the cruise control button on the back or right here again, and it disables it. So, I kind of want to know how many people knew that. How many people knew that you could update the cruise control speed once it was set? Let's go ahead and show you that again. So, right now, I'm going, let's go about hit the cruise control. So I'm going about 1.4. You want to make sure you have your stick pushed forward when you hit cruise, okay? So I'm going to update the speed now. So let's go a little faster. Cruise, keep on pushing forward. See, it's updated, cruise speed updated. Again, I got to stop it. I don't want to go in the middle of the traffic. But how many of you knew that? How many of you knew you could update the cruise control speed? I didn't. I actually did. I did it by accident. So that's a great feature. That's a real good feature. Cruise control itself is amazing. If you haven't used it, definitely use it. You can use it with Spotlight. You can use it with Point of Interest. You can just definitely practice it. It's a really great feature. So the other thing is I want to talk about the auxiliary light. On the bottom of the DJI Mini 4 Pro, there's a light. At nighttime, if it takes off or it goes in low light settings and it comes down or takes off, it automatically comes on. I hand lock, so I see it sometimes and sometimes I don't, just because I'm off the ground a little more. And if I fly at night, a lot of times it's just great. So we're going to show that here. So I'm gonna go ahead and, yes, it's not night, but it will be in a minute. Hold on one second. So I'm going to take her up. Just go ahead and take her up real quick. We're not gonna go that high here. And I don't know if any of you have flown at night, but if you have, you can see these little things right here are hard to see. Basically, you can't see it. So I'm gonna be out there. Great. And then so what I'm gonna do right now, because since my home date wasn't updated, I'm gonna go ahead and update my home point real quick. So safety. Where's that at right there? Update home point. And I'm gonna go to controller. Hit updated, hit OK. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit return to home point. And you'll see how easy it is with the light. Just give it a minute, you'll see it's great. It's rising up right now. And well, nighttime right now. As you can see, this is the auxiliary light right here. I don't know how much you'll be able to pick this up once it's in the sky, but we'll find out real quick. So I went ahead and turned on the auxiliary light. And I'm hoping you guys can see that right there. And that's basically how it's going to look when you come home. I mean, it really does. It works great. If I can get it back. And that's what I mean by really seeing where your drone's at all times. It's kind of weird trying to hold a camera to record this for you guys, but I really want you to see this so you can understand how good this actually looks and how easy it is to see in the ground. So to recap, make sure you know how to connect your hotspot to the RC2 controller. You're going to wind up in a situation where you'll need it, either to download maps or for an authorization like that. That wouldn't let me hit cancel. The first time I did it, I had to put my phone number in and I couldn't hit cancel. The thing was on the screen and I couldn't get it to go away. So maybe because I actually done my phone number and they have me in here, But still, I gotta do it every time. You just want to make sure you know how to connect your hotspot to the RC2 controller. It'll help you in the long run. The other thing is, so you can practice at any time. You don't have to have the screen come up and let you know. Just kind of go through the steps so you're aware of it. So the other test we did with the home point, make sure you know that it's not a live update. I personally think it's a bug. Maybe it's an enhancement request. I hope they fix it. It'd be nice. It knows where your controller's at, so it should follow that controller and come back to that controller or the home point, whatever setting you set. I do hope they fix that, or correct it or whatever you say. Because the worst thing that could happen to you, and you'll freak out. You have your drone right here next to you, following you with active track, and you see low battery. You're like, oh, okay, it's going to land. I'll go ahead and get it, and then it raises up and takes off, and you don't realize it, and it's it's a mile back, and you're like, oh no. I think I see the YouTube video about that. The guy had to travel. He was on a bike or something, but it was hilarious. It was hilarious. But anyway, make sure you update your home point. The next thing, mapping your RC2 controller back buttons. I highly recommend using cruise control. It's a great feature. It saves you movements if you need to. Because sometimes if you're going up, turn left, right, gimbal and all that, at least it will take if you're doing it all at one time, it'll take all those movements and it'll keep them going. But sometimes you just need to move forward and you do the rest of the movements manually. That's a great feature. You can also update the speed if you need to. You don't have to stop cruise control. You can just speed it up. And then as you're pushing forward on the stick, hit the button again and it actually will update the cruise control speed. It's a great feature. The other thing, as we saw, the auxiliary light is amazing. If you fly at night or you fly anytime where it's dark, even at daytime if you want, it helps you see it. I highly recommend mapping that button, the other button, to the auxiliary light. And as you can see, when it came back, I was able to see it. Again, thanks for watching. I love doing content like this. It actually helps, I think, people to know what settings you can do in different situations. I know I learned things from watching different YouTube videos. So if you like this content, please subscribe. And again, thanks. Hope everyone has a great Memorial Day. And thanks to everyone that served. Again, talk to you later, guys. Bye.